זאת עולה מן המדבר
זאת עולה מן המדבר
מקוטרת מור מור לבונה
מקוטרת מור מור לבונה
ליבבתיני אחותי כלה
ליבבתיני אחותי כלה
אני לדודי לדודי פעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה
לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך דודי לקראת קהלה פני שבת נקבלה
It's like a Passover palooza. We're going to be singing
You just wanted
Passover
to say
stuff.
that.
I did. Page 361. We have a couple songs that we're going to start with to get the mood going.
What song could this be? Go down, Moses, way down to Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh, let my people go. When Israel was in Egypt's land.
All of us. Let my people go.
Oppressed so hard they could not stand.
Let my people go.
Go down, Moses. Go down, Moses. Way down in Egypt's land. Tell old Pharaoh to let my people go. At the top of the page. Avadim hayinu, hayinu. Ata benechorim, benechorim. Avadim hayinu. Ata benechorim. Avadim hayinu. Ata benechorim, Let's do that again. Avadim hayinu, hayinu. Hannah. Ata benechorim. Hannah. Benechorim. Avadim hayinu. Ata benechorim. Avadim hayinu. Ata benechorim. One more. Ilu hotzi hotzi anu
This sounds like a Western musical.
Dainu, Natan lanu et ha-Shabbat, Natan lanu et ha-Shabbat, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. One more verse. Ilu Natan lanu et ha-Torah, Natan lanu et ha-Torah, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu,
What musical is that from?
It's like Oklahoma meets.
All right,
Passover.
we've begun with some singing. You see how your mood picked up? You sing a little bit, your body vibrates. It's great. So now let's bring the Shabbat light into the room. I'd like to invite Pam Bennett, an extraordinary member of our board of directors.
I'd also like everyone to notice that instead of the cover over the Kiddush cup for so flies don't go
There's
in, they put a
matzah.
piece of matzah. Like,
Always good to have a couple of matzah crumbs in your wine.
it doesn't work. Okay, all right.
Page 2.
It's not one of those special ones. You're supposed to use two fingers. Yeah, lie. You just push it really hard. Yeah, lie. It's my Pilates. Lie. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Okay. Passover is my favorite holiday of the year. I just have such good memories of sitting at the Seder table with my family and singing the songs and using the same Haggadah every single year growing up. It was so outdated, but it didn't matter. It was what we always did. And one of my favorite aspects of the holiday is that it inspires good conversation and reflection, right? It is the holiday where being a Jew means you're supposed to ask questions, but Passover is really a time where we highlight that trend or tendency of ours. And so it's a time really for reflecting, for looking back on kind of what is the chametz in our life, in what ways are we oppressed, how are we in Mitzrayim, the narrow place, and how can we get ourselves out to a place of redemption. So right now in our service, we're going to do our moment of Hazarat HaShavua, our moment of reflection on the week that has passed, and hopefully preparing ourselves for the Shabbat and week that will come ahead of us. And I want to use the Hazarat HaShavua moment this week of Passover to really hone in on or go deeper into the reflection piece of Passover, right? I really want you to take these moments just to kind of think about maybe the questions you asked yourself during the Seder and how can you continue having them percolate within you now for just a moment. And where do you want to take the lessons from Passover into the week ahead? How can you be a little more expansive? Feel yourself asking good questions in the week ahead. How can you feel yourself ridding yourself of that chametz in your life? Use the next moment or two to think about all these questions as we do Hazarat HaShavua. We'll turn now to page 20 as we get ready to welcome the Sabbath bride into this holy space with L'Chadodi.
Here we go. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I'll invite you all to rise and face the entrance as we welcome that Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We'll turn now to page 28. Stay standing right where you are as we get ready to chant Baruch Hu together.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may all be seated. We'll turn now to page 34 for Shema. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. It's an opportunity for us to think about the oneness of where we stand in relation to the rest of the universe and everything that God has created around us. One thing about the Passover Seder is that it's a meal of senses. We have so many smells and tastes. And for me, it's always a reminder of the bounty in God's earth, that we get to experience all those senses. And so as we sing Shema together, let us appreciate where we stand as just one small fleck, one small piece of this vast universe filled with so much bounty around us. We sing Shema together.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
As we sing Micha Mocha now, I invite you to think about, really, this is the time to think about what that moment, standing in front of a sea that wasn't parted yet. It was still a vast ocean. Probably you couldn't see the edge of it on the other side. And what it may have felt like for those Israelites to trek toward it and not quite know what their next step was when they reached that sea. And yet we have this miracle of Passover where the sea parted in front of them somehow, and it took the courage of Nachshon, of stepping in and having it come apart in front of them. All of us have Nachshon moments where we get to a place and we're not quite sure what that step forward is going to look like. And Passover is that 1 week of the year where we do say to ourselves, we have to have faith that somehow that sea will part and we will reach the open expanse. So we celebrate that moment of courage with Mi Chamocha, page 40.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Let's do that again. Mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei vele. Nora tehilot osei vele. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh.
We'll get ready now in our service to turn our hearts toward those in our lives who are in need of healing. As we get ready to sing Misha Berach, we're on page 253. We'll start by singing together. I'll come around in the middle of our prayer, and if you are thinking of anyone who could use healing of the mind or the body or the soul, as I come around to you, please share their name aloud, and then we'll continue by singing again together.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mickey Blake, Reuben Boxer.
Pamela Abraham, Karen Altman, Bracha Liba Bat Ruvain Chaim, Gemma Del Duca, Sean Del Rahim, Eitan Chaim, Elisheva Chava Bat Zalman Haran Leah Miriam, Valerie Collin, Robert Lee Feinstein, Judy Fenton, Shelley Fisher, Wendy Fisher, Charlotte Ginger Harmon, Eric Innocenti, Dora Rachel Cram Solomon, Renee Kumitz, Alan Levy, Stephen Lipschultz, Greg Lombardo, Rivka Batsvi Shandel, Howard Rosen, Ruvain Ben Mordechai Ben Nahama, Lindy Sobel, Marvin Sobel, Mabube Suleimani, Rose Ugolnik, Helena Wachtel, Yehudit Bat Nahama Ben Mordechai, Howard Zellico, and Brian and Linda Zussman.
Guy Allison, Emmett Corwin, Judy Fenton. Mishebera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We're going to go back to page 46 now. I do want to say just at this moment, this is the first time the three clergy here at Temple Emmanuel have been together in the year 2026, as a matter of fact. So it's so great to have our partnership back again, and we're all glad to be here at the same time tonight. So as we go to page... Just this weekend, true. But as we go to page 46, we've really been praying as a community up to this moment. And now let's get to this point where we can go inside for our own personal prayers. The first thing we'll sing together says, God, please allow what's in my heart to come out of my lips. So let's rise together. We'll say that first prayer, and then you can use prayers in the Siddur to page 62 or what is in your heart and mind. And when you feel like you're done, you may be seated, and when we're all sitting, we'll continue with the service. Adonai tzvatai tivtach.
Adonai tzvatai tivtach. Adonai tzvatai tivtach. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ufi yagid
as we end the Amidah tonight, we'll be taking something from the Seder. Actually, a sad aspect of our history as a Jewish people is that in every age, there is someone that tries to rise up against us so that we are no more. And the resilience of Am Yisrael Chai, that the people of Israel live over these centuries and millennia, is that we are gathering like we are this evening. And so as much as we've had people that have tried to destroy us, it's our resilience of refusing to go and to say, no, I'm here, this is me, this is what I do. So to end our Amidah, we will hear a version of Vihi She'amda.
Vehi she'amda lavoteinu, Vehi she'amda lavoteinu velanu, shelo echad bilvad amad aleinu lechalotenu, amad aleinu lechalotenu. Vehi she'amda lavoteinu, Vehi she'amda lavoteinu velanu, shelo echad milvad amad aleinu lechalotenu, amad aleinu lechalotenu. V'hakadosh baruch hu matzilenu miyadam, v'hakadosh baruch hu matzilenu miyadam, shelo echad bilvad amad aleinu lechalotenu, lechalotenu, v'hakadosh baruch hu matzilenu, v'hakadosh baruch hu matzilenu miyadam.
Shabbat Shalom. I hope you all had beautiful seders filled with good food. Anyone not have good food? Good wine. Anyone not have? And lots of questions, hopefully. At our Seder, we had a moment that I'm actually still feeling it, and that's why I'm talking about it tonight. It had nothing to do with the beautifully crafted Seder that my brother wrote this year for our Seder. He's been writing Seders for about 26 years, and they're all a little bit different and a little bit the same. This one was about a person who spends his life in a library, and he goes out seeking the meaning of life on the evening of Passover. And towards the end of the Seder, someone posed a question to my brother, and I'm like, thank God that he's being asked and not me. And I have to say, I've been sitting in this service knowing I'm talking about this, feeling a little bit guilty. Because what's the first thing we sang? You know, let our people go. The next thing, Avadim Hayinu, we were slaves in Egypt, and now we are free. Dayenu, you know, if you hadn't taken us out of Egypt, if you hadn't only given us manna, if you hadn't done this, and took us across the desert and done all this stuff. So the question was, were the Jews ever slaves in Egypt? And very quickly, my brother says no. Should I say that again? Were the Jews slaves in Egypt? The answer is no. The idea that we were slaves in Egypt, this is the answer given at the time, is more about the fact that the Israelites had no power They were not autonomous people. They had no rights. So it was as if we were slaves because we actually had no agency. Later, as we're sitting around after the Seder talking in another room, one person was very upset. Wait, if the Jews weren't slaves in Egypt, then our whole reason for existence doesn't count. Our identity is we were slaves in Egypt. God took us out with an outstretched arm. We received the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. We enter the land of Canaan. That's our identity. What if that story is not true? My response to the person is, we've been talking for years about the fact that there's no archaeological evidence that shows that 2 million people crossed the Sinai and the Negev, and for 40 years, 2 million people walking around might leave something, right? A wrapper. Nothing. There's no archaeological evidence yet that truly links the Israelites to wandering through the desert. The answer was, that's different. What are we if we weren't slaves who became free? I must say this question is staying with me. What are we indeed if slavery never happened? What are we if we didn't come out of Egypt and traverse the desert? Stephen Rosenberg wrote in 2014 in a Jerusalem Post article, quote, "The whole subject of the Exodus is embarrassing to archaeologists. The Exodus is so fundamental to us and our Jewish sources that it is embarrassing that there is no evidence outside the Bible to support it." Apparently, archaeologists dislike questions about the Exodus because, Rosenberg says, quote, "there is nothing in the Egyptian records to support it. Nothing on the slavery of the Israelites. Nothing on the plagues that persuaded Pharaoh to let them go. Nothing on the miraculous crossing of the Red Sea. I'm very sorry, you had a beautiful description." Professor S. David Sperling, actually a Bible professor of mine at Hebrew Union College, published a book in 1998, which most scholars are saying to now, wrote that it wasn't that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, that they were slaves to Egypt because Egypt was in charge of the area and enslaved them as workers. You can find people who do support the idea that the Israelites were in Egypt. They do call upon archaeological finds, but it's interesting, as all those archaeological finds have a picture or a description of a people that they were battling against. The greatest, and then there's one other thing given, that in the land of Goshen, that whole area that's talked about in the Bible, there is a town that was called Avaris, Avaris, which is from the Hebrew avar, which means to pass through, meaning that they were wanderers, these group of people. And they all lived in this one village, town, city, whatever you'd call it in ancient times. But still, there's nothing beyond that name and an interpretation of the name that really tells us what that's about. The most famous mention of the Israelites is in something called the Merneptah Stele, or stele. I always, Stele. It's just a huge piece of rock. And Pharaoh Merneptah, in around 1208 BCE, put up this stele, which was a whole bunch of battles that he fought against a whole bunch of people. And there it says, quote, "Israel is wasted, its seed is not. And Huru, which is the land of Canaan, is become a widow because of Egypt." They actually took 3 cities that were in the land of Canaan, and they did not destroy the Israelites. They just damaged them very badly. And none of these actually prove that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt and that they came across the desert and they came into the land of Canaan. So I would like to offer that the truth of our slavery is no less important than the truth of the creation myth, or of Noah, or of or whether Moses even existed at all. I would ask the question back to you, which I did ask. Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you that the Israelites were actually slaves? For me, the Bible has never been about exposing history. It's more about sharing the stories of our people. That's what the last 2 nights were about. It's about a conversation between our ancient holy texts filled with what? Case studies, myths, rituals, and some origins from a people that we call ours. That, to me, is the key to this. Those thousands of pages of our texts are filled with the ideas that our people wanted to hand down over generations. It's like their ethical will to everybody that comes after them. They are our stories. We own them. They're our laws. They are our books to incorporate into our lives however we want to incorporate them. Any way that we do. And I would say every single one of us in here incorporates it differently into their lives. And by the way, this is the way I feel about all ancient texts. Did all these stories really happen to Buddha? Did Jesus really do all the stuff that it said that he did in the Christian Bible? The Greeks have some of the greatest books, ancient books in the world depicting incredible myths. Do we really believe that those things existed, like Zeus and Apollo and all those gods? And if we say those don't, and that isn't real, how can we just turn around and say, well, yeah, but that is? Because that's ours. That's why we believe it, and that's why we want it to be true. Do we think it's history? Maybe. I can't stand here and say none of it ever happened because I'm not that old yet. But there's no doubt that the influences of all those writings that I mentioned have had an incredible impact even on the modern contemporary world that we live in right now. So for me, in the end, it doesn't matter if it's true. They are speaking about the truths that our people have discovered in their lifetime. And it is true. Freedom is preferable to slavery. Agency is preferable to restriction. Love is preferable to hate. I mean, I could go on as to what's preferable, and it's these values that are contained that we have taken out of these texts that we live with every day. The rituals and symbols of our people have been in place for so long, and yet I'm sure if one of the rabbis from the Mishnah were to come into any of our seders, they would say, what is this, a seder? This doesn't look like a seder. The greatest example, and I'll end on this, there's a section in the Talmud, Menachot 29b, 3 through 5, where God tells Moses that there need to be little crowns on the top of the letters that are in the Torah because of one man, Akiva, who he says, is this great rabbi. And Moses says, I want to see, can you show me Akiva? So, in the Talmud, they're whisked forward in time to Akiva's classroom, and there's Moses sitting in, they say, the 8th row. I don't know why that's significant. And he's sitting there listening to Akiva teach and all of these students talking, and he doesn't recognize a single thing they're saying. He can't understand a word they're saying. And finally, one student says, well, where do you get that halakha? Where do you get that law? And Akiva says, that was received by Moses on Sinai. And at that moment, Moses' mind was put at ease. Akiva wasn't talking the way Moses was. Akiva was talking in his time. But there's a through line. There's a connection between those two times, and there's a connection between our time as well. So I believe that story tries to tell us whether they're myths or folk tales or interpretations or commentaries or arguments, they all come from the same source for thousands of years. And that source is the people, our people. Whether they were slaves in or to Egypt, whether they went through the desert or not, that's the story we've been living with. It is our story, whether it's true or not. Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Let's go to 282, and Aleinu, we have, before we do that, actually, one of the best parts about Passover is the counting of the Omer between Passover and Shavuot. This is one of the great spiritual practices that one can do. Each week, there is one spiritual realm that is looked at in depth. This week, the first week, we begin with chesed, which is loving kindness. So yesterday, you thought about how does your loving kindness exist within your loving kindness? Today, it's how does your gvura, which is your power, or it also could be your discipline, which is the one I like to use for gvura. How does your discipline exist within your loving kindness? And you might think that's a strange thing to have for discipline. I think it's like the idea that if you did not have your gvura within your chesed, you might allow, your emotional feelings to get the best of you. They might go crazy. But if you have gvura, the power over your feeling, then you can have appropriate feelings. You might not go crazy over it. It's like the person that's obsessed with somebody. Maybe they wouldn't be as obsessed if they had this gvura, this discipline kind of holding back the unbridled power of loving kindness. Seems a little strange to talk about it that way, but if you want to talk about it afterwards, we can talk further about it. So we need to announce the Omer. Behold, I am prepared. Is it on here?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, go to 278. I didn't realize that it's in there. Oh, we can just do what's in the Siddur. Okay. Yeah, please rise. Okay, if you'd like to read it together. Hineni muchan umzuman lekayem mitzvah oseh shel sfirat haomer baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haomer hayom shnei yamim la omer. Today is the second day of the Omer. Now let's go to 282, and we'll finish our service.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
I'd like us to turn to page 294 for Kaddish Yatom. And first, we remember those in our congregational family who have died in the last 30 days. Jay Lehrer, Ira Rad, and Marilyn Axelrod. And I'd like to ask if there's anyone in the congregation tonight who was in the midst of Shiv'ah, the first 7 days, Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning. If you'd please rise and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. If you're observing a yard site, please do stand and tell us who you're here to say Kaddish for. Did I miss anybody? We remember the following members of our congregation: Jack Barenfeld, Cody Ray Bocanegra, Lester Boxer, Catherine Cadiff, Blanche Drobness, Dr. Mosellar Goldstein, Barry Gross, Steve Hyman, Dolly Katzenstein, Maurice Kornberg, Grace Nachmias, Lois Sherman, Marvin Wager, and David Young. Let us rise now in solidarity with those names that we called and the mourners that are among us. And we also must say Kaddish Yatom for all that have died in the violence of our recent times and war around this world and lives that are taken together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma divra cherutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chaychon v'yomechon uv'chayei tuchol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'olmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imrumav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and we say amen. You may be seated.
So first of all, thank you for Bill, to Bill for being here. Thank you. Thank you for security and maintenance. And Hannah, who is running the audio and greeting everybody. I also have to say we have a really delicious chocolate matzah, chocolate roca, what do you call it? Matzah roca, thank you. I said that to Rabbi Aaron. He looked at me like I was crazy.
What flavors do we have? I think it's like sprinkles and different types of chocolate
Marshmallows.
chips.
No matter how you cover it, it's still matzah.
No, you don't taste the matzah when it's covered in chocolate.
Right.
But anyways, Hannah, our rabbinic intern Hannah, and our program director Hannah came in today to make big pans full, so definitely enjoy that.
Okay, we're ending our service.
Wait.
Oh, we have announcements.
Rabbi Aaron.
Oh, yeah. Listen, tomorrow night, 6:30, we'll be in the sanctuary, laying down, relaxing, listening to the sounds of bowls, gongs, the ocean, and we'll do.
Oh, sorry.
Have the. And by the way, this we start at 6:30,
Yes.
and it goes 1 hour. It goes to 7:30, so you can go to dinner by 8.
Please join us May 7th. Everybody, all ages. We're actually going to have childcare for kids. Beverly Hills Ball. It's Beverly Hills after dark. Is that right? After hours. I don't know. Hannah's back there. She could help us, but it's okay. Read your highlights. Okay. Rabbi Aaron?
I don't know if you were here when the first time when Dror Yaron came and spoke to us shortly after October 7th. To give us kind of what's going on in the Middle East, and he's going to come back now and we can ask him questions, and he's going to present us with what he thinks is happening politically in the Middle East and what we should know.
And you'll never
He's
know
a
until
very
you see what
charismatic guy and just extremely knowledgeable, and his wife is the other pianist that we have. Yeah. He's the teacher. Yeah, he's at Harvard Westlake. He's in charge of the history department there.
Please save the date and come be a part of our blood drive on April 28th. Community retreat.
Okay. We are having a Temple Emmanuel community retreat May 22nd through 24th. Now, let me say that in my experience, spending a weekend with friends from the Temple community away at camp, in nature, doing Shabbat, doing things like art and singing and nature hiking and like all sorts of learning, and just it's such a bonding experience for a community. So if you are available this weekend, make sure you spend that weekend on this retreat. You're going to get to spend time with all of us, and we're amazing.
We're fun.
And with Temple Emmanuel friends, really,
And honestly, we need people to really start signing up. We got to get this happening, because we are going to create the retreat of your dreams, meaning
we're creating,
whoever comes, we're making this for you.
and we're creating.
Where do you sit? Oh, where is it? It's at Brandeis Bardeen, Simi Valley.
We are
And the
creating.
rooms are nice and air conditioned.
We
yes.
are creating all the programming for you. All the food is provided and delicious. The rooms are motel style. They're very nice. It's like glamping. It's not camping.
It's not glamping. It's better than glamping.
It's like hotel style rooms.
It's air conditioned, and there are flushing toilets.
We're selling
Anyway.
it great. No, please join us for this weekend. It's going to be awesome.
Well, actually, you got to be there to know what we're talking about. Who has been on a community retreat before?
Well, this could be your first time.
This is your chance. All right, we're going to close. That's right now.
Let's stand and ask permission. Put your arm around the person next to you. You good with it?
We've hit a lot of the main phrases of our Haggadah, and we end with this one: Bechol dor vador, in every generation. Well, we act as if we were in the real Egypt as slaves. We pretend. Bechol dor vador.
It's actually on 361 if you're interested.
Can you picture yourself crossing through and wandering the desert? Can you feel the wind support you as you go? Do you hear the cries of those left behind, still hoping for tomorrow? Do you fear the mountains you still have to climb?
Bechol dor vador.
Bechol dor vador. Hayav Adam lirot et atzmo. Ki'ilu, ki'ilu, ki'ilu. Yatsa miMitzrayim. Yatsa miMitzrayim. Yatsa miMitzrayim. Yatsa
Baruch atem bevorchem, Baruch atem betzetchem. You were blessed when you came in here
Stay
this
here for a
evening.
moment.
May you be blessed as you go forward.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Asher
kichanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava v'ratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom tehillah lemigraye kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi chaka lechem min haaretz b'te'ava.
Shabbat shalom. Join us for the matzah oneg.
See you out there.